Hey everybody, I'm Rosalind, your friendly neighborhood landlord. Don't worry, I won't bite. Hey, I'm Rosalind Resnick, the host of Your Friendly Neighborhood Landlord, the podcast where landlords and tenants talk about issues, break down barriers, and hopefully find some peace in this crazy world of ours. You'll learn how to find a landlord you can trust, how to save money on brokers' commissions, how to get your landlord's attention, and so much more. Welcome to the show. Today our topic is how to manage your buildings remotely from wherever you happen to be. Currently, I'm traveling in Italy with my boyfriend who lives over here. He lives in Florence. I live outside Washington, D.C. So here we are in Italy. We're actually in Perugia this weekend, a small medieval town in Italy where there's great food, great wine, great art. We're going to be spending Christmas in Naples, New Year's in Rome. So not to make you guys totally jealous here, but the only downside to being a traveling landlord like I am is that I still need to be available to my tenants 24/7. So what does that mean? It means that number one, I need to have my phone on all the time. And number two, my staff back in New York where I own my buildings, they need to have their phones on as well. So how do I do it? Because to be honest, I've been running around the world like crazy for the past almost 23 years, managing this crazy business of mine. So one thing I started doing, I guess it was about a year and a half ago, is back in the day, I used to encourage my tenants to email me if they had any problems in their apartment or the heat went out, they saw a mouse, plumbing problems, like whatever it happened to be. Then my tenants started texting my property manager. And then about a year and a half ago, I had the idea to set up group chats with all of my tenants on an apartment by apartment basis. And that really works well, especially for me as a traveling landlord. I like to call it because when a tenant posts a message to one of the group chats, and I also have group chats going with my property manager, my handyman, my contractors, my whole team. So when a tenant in this case posts a message to a group chat saying like, over this particular weekend, for example, one of my tenants, he texted the group chat to report that the light in front of his apartment, which runs on a motion detector, it looked like the bulb was burned out. So he wanted us to fix it. He texted us on a Saturday. So immediately, even though I'm here in Italy and my property manager is in the States, we were both able to jump on that problem ASAP and send our handyman over to the building to change the bulb. So great system, right? Because wherever I happen to be, whatever time zone, I'm going to get the chat. I'm going to see it. My property manager is going to see it. And then we can communicate with our handyman, our super, our various technicians. So it's all great, except that, of course, that means that all of us have to have access to our phones, right? So what does that mean for me? And obviously, I'm not going to, like you guys as landlords and tenants, I mean, nobody wants to spend a ridiculous amount of money on phones or text messages or international phone calls when we're trying to take a vacation. So for me, I've been a long-time AT&T customer since 1999, and I still have the same phone number to prove it. So AT&T has this wonderful plan that they call the International Day Pass. And I remember a few years ago, and it was $10 a day. Now it's $12 a day, but it's still a bargain because it means that back home in the States, I have unlimited data, right? So I could text, I can browse, I can surf, I could do anything with my phone, and it's unlimited in the States. So what that means is when I travel overseas, and fortunately Italy is on the list of probably 200 or 300 countries now that AT&T has on its day plan. So for $12 a day, I get unlimited data. So I can text my tenants, I can receive texts. I mean, obviously, calls are more, but it's rare that I have to get on the phone. So for me, that $12 a day plan is amazing. It's a total bargain if you decide to bring your phone with you. So this is why I used to tell my tenants back in the day that I was taking a trip, I was going overseas. In today's world, it's seamless. I don't have to do that because wherever I happen to be, it's no different from if I'm back home in the States. So for $12 a day on AT&T, which has been my carrier, as I said, for the last 25 years, I bring my phone with me, and it's no different for me responding, sending text messages. It's only $12 a day, and I bring my phone with me, so it's the same phone number. Tenants can get a hold of me, my staff, and we can solve problems. Of course, it might be in the middle of the night here because Italy is 6 hours ahead, but for me, it's a very convenient way to bring my office with me, so to speak, and to make my tenants' experience in getting their problems resolved absolutely seamless from wherever I happen to be. Another solution, and you guys probably know this, those of you who travel overseas, is an application called WhatsApp, which is now owned by Facebook, which is now called Meta. But anyway, with WhatsApp, you can use WhatsApp to text and call over Wi-Fi from anywhere in the world. So any place where you hook up your phone or computer to Wi-Fi, you could use WhatsApp to text and call exactly the same way as you would do over your own phone. So I find AT&T is easier for me because I already have it. I've got unlimited data, and I can make calls a lot more clearly. I find that the call quality, the audio quality is better over AT&T, but WhatsApp solves the same problem. And as long as you have access to WhatsApp, it's not like you have to pay anymore. I guess like the third solution I would recommend as far as like international communications would be Zoom. So whether it's Zoom or, any of those video IP kinds of applications, if you need to do a longer call, you could do a Zoom call with your bankers, your lawyers. I still act as my own rental broker, so I pick my own tenants. And if I happen to be overseas when an apartment turns over, I can do a video call with the new tenants as opposed to meeting them face to face. So again, Zoom is free as well, or you could pay for an upgraded plan, but that Zoom is also another form of communication that you could do over IP, over Wi-Fi when you travel. So just a couple of tips here. My boyfriend and I we need to jump into a cab and get on the train back to Florence. So thanks again for tuning in to your friendly neighborhood landlord. I'm Rosalind Resnick, and I'll see you next Monday with a brand new episode. And once again, I would like to thank Brian Miller, my talented and intrepid producer, for welcoming me to the world of podcasting and working diligently behind the scenes to make each episode as acoustically perfect as possible. To keep listening to more of these informative podcasts that could save you time and money on your apartment, click follow or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And if you have a question that you'd like me to answer on the show, just email me at rosalindnyc, like New York City, @gmail.com. See you guys next week. Bye.